Sir.
Yeah, please share.
సార్ అది ఇన్స్టాల్ అయింది కానీ అది ఓపెన్ అవ్వట్లేదు సార్, ఎర్రర్ చూపిస్తుంది. I mean
the status may be anything, no problem at all. Can you share your screen?
okay sir.
Thanks, Banu, for reminding me about the recording. Well, Kirti, what is the problem to share your screen?
Sir, 1 minute. Sir.
Well, Kirti, I will come back to you. Get ready with that, and I will go with the next person. Right? Mute your line.
Okay, sir.
I will come back to you soon. May know C naught P Jagdishwara is here. C naught. C naught. P Jagdishwar Rao. Are you there? A7 Akhil Krishna. A7. What happened to these people? They are in the meeting. C naught A7. Right, I will talk to them later. '85 is here. K. Deepthi Harita. 1285.
Sir.
Yes, Harita. Have you completed the installation process?
Sir.
Am I audible to you?
Yes, sir.
Have you completed the installation process?
No, sir.
Have you tried? Still you have not started. అంటే మీరు ట్రై చేశారా అసలు ఇంతవరకు స్టార్ట్ చేయలేదా?
Sir, there is a problem in my laptop, sir. So I can't done.
By next session, can you complete this?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Thank you.
Mute your line. Uh, 1253. Navya. J. Navya. Navya unnara?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, Navya. What about your status? Have you completed this?
No, sir, I didn't complete it. I tried to install the Eclipse, but it is showing some errors. So that's why I am unable to install.
Still Eclipse installation is not done?
No, sir. Last time when I'm doing Wipro, I tried, sir, but it is not accepting. Now also I tried, but it is not accepting. Once again, I will check and I will try, sir.
But you are, I think you are the part of Wipro program, Wipro this placement program also, right?
Yes, sir. But I'm doing in Notepad, sir.
Then I think so. Most of the mini projects has to be done in the Eclipse environment, but you have to do it, right? Navya, but it was useful to you in the industry also, working with these Notepad. These things are not allowed. You have to work with some IDEs.
Okay, sir. I will again try to download.
Right? Resolve all these things. Right? Get ready with your IDE and required software also.
Okay, sir.
If any problem is there while installing, you feel free to contact me. Definitely, I will help you.
Okay, sir.
Right. Mute yourself, Navya. Well, I repeat and I request everyone still who are not completed. I tested very few. I interact with very few students only because of that is the time, right? But I request if anyone is there without having these Eclipse and these required JTME in their systems, so please complete this task at least by next session. Take it as a serious thing, right? So it was required, and that process gives you a lot of knowledge, right? Not a lot of information also, right? Please try that. And a few were contacted me while they were trying, and they were getting some errors. They were contacted me, and I have given my best, and they were successfully done also, right? So you are feel free to contact me at any time regarding this process, right? Now I will jump into our topic. The last session just we had a discussion related to introduction to JTME and the installation process and having some simple hello board. Now I will move on to a few examples, right? So that how we can start building the JTME apps in our own way. Let me start sharing my screen. Fine. Once you have the Eclipse environment followed by JTME into your system, it looks like this. It's fine. And I will start with the basic steps once again, how you can start your JTME projects in your systems. So once your Eclipse were installed and the JTME is also installed into your system, right? The starting will be like this. So in the file menu, you'll have a new option will be there. If JTME was successfully done into your system, right, you can find that an option Java ME project option, right? Just click on that Java ME project option. Right, you should provide some name here. I'm providing just Java ME. Just I'm calling it as a test, Java ME test, some name. Just go on with the next, and just click on the finish thing. So you can see the things in the left side menu. Project was created and the required subfolders were created, source, src, res, and required along with the libraries also. So just I would like to focus on the project. Just focus on the left side menu, the project what we were created, and there I'm clicking the I'm making some right click option here to start my Java ME application. Right click on that, you have a new option. In the new option, right now select the Java ME Midlet option. So in the last class itself, we were discussed that whatever the Java classes we are going to write as part of this J2ME path is going to be called as midlets. The classes will be called as midlets here in this environment, right? So just I would like to start the classes here so that I can build my Java application. Right, the things were right, it will give us, and the next thing we have to provide is the class name, the midlet name we need to create. So just I'm providing it as a test here, and I'm clicking on the finish button. So once it was done, the basic template was provided to you, and please focus on that. Focus on that. Your class, look at the class signature here, public class test extends midlet. So every JTME class is going to be by default extends from the midlet class, right? It has to be extends, or it has to be inherited from the midlet class. Then only it will be treated as a JTME application class, and it was compulsory rule. And in this midlet class, actually the midlet is one of the abstract class actually, and this class contains few methods. Test method, sorry, the test is a constructor here for our class, and the three important methods were destroy app, pass app, and start app. And these three methods will defines the life cycle of our app, or simply mobile application, right? And the name itself says the purpose of these apps to initiate the execution of your app. The start app is going to be provided, and whenever you want to pass some temporarily, so we are going to initiate the pass app method. And whenever you want to destroy, or whenever you want to permanently delete your app, right? The destroy, nothing but the termination in the here, the termination, deletion in the termination from the execution, right? Not physical deletion, right? Whenever you want to terminate your app from its execution, this destroy app is going to be initiated. And you can look at these these empty definitions for all these methods, right? We can write whatever the statements we require here, right? Here in this case, I would like to go with a small example. Let's start with the previous one. If I want to create a simple hello world, how I can start that? Just we'll start with that one. It takes 1 or 2 minutes. Then we'll go with our next discussions. Right. Generally, whatever the statements we want to run as part of our application are going to be provided in the start app. Remember that. Generally, the statements, whatever we want to execute as part of our application or our app, those statements are going to be generally written in the startup method or else in the starting constructor part. And the destroy app and pass app are specifically used for whenever they require. Whenever if I want to make some operations before destroying my terminating my app, those statements are going to be provided there, right? In the same way, whenever I want to pass my application from its execution, the required statements are going to be provided as part of that statement, that method, right? That's why we use them very rarely whenever we require them, but in generally we prefer to write the statements in the constructor path or else in the startup method, right? Directly I am working with the startup method here, and the purpose of the form is, right, you need a canvas. Nothing but your mobile screen itself is whatever you do, those things are going to be dumped onto your mobile screen, right? To dump whatever you want, whatever the things you require, you need a canvas. My form acts like a canvas here, and in that canvas I can add some control buttons, push buttons, or whatever the control things, or some statements, whatever I require. So just I'm going to add those things into my canvas. The form acts like a canvas, right? So it's showing an error, and you can see the importing statements also. Already there is an import statement, the midlet, nothing but you can see the import statement here. Java X dot micro edition dot midlet is going to be the one of the important package where we use for Java applications, Java ME applications, mobile applications, and this last one component is a midlet class, and that was the class we were using to inherit to construct our Java ME midlets here, right? So that was a mandatory, and I'm trying to write the form here, but the required method, the required package, here it is. The Eclipse environment is itself gives us the solutions to us, right? The form is added to you. Look at this. What were the import statement? Now it was added. Java X dot micro edition dot LCD UI, LCD limited limited connected devices. Limited connected devices. UI in the sense user interfaces. LCD UI. So whatever the interfaces you require for your mobile devices, so the corresponding classes are going to be offered in this package, right? Form, checkboxes, buttons, these kind of things, right? Right. I was added some form here. That form, I'm appending a small message here. So whatever the message you want to add, the message is going to be added here. Once that message is added to your form, right? The very important statement here it is. We created a canvas, and in that canvas we have dumped or we have pushed whatever we required here. So my canvas is form here, and my required dump here it is having some hello greeting message here, right? That was fine. Now what we need to do is we have to initiate the display of this canvas on your mobile screen. I'm repeating once again, creating canvas, adding all the required strings or controls is not only enough. One more thing we have to do is your canvas should be initiated to display on the mobile screen. And to make this happen, right, I have to get, look at this, the purpose of this statement is, here, still it was not completed, just I'm stopping here and we'll discuss it. The display is the one of the predefined class here, which was there in your LCD UI. So it was there in your LCD UI package, right? The get display is one of the static method in the display class. The purpose of this get display is it gets the instance what you want to display on the screen. I'm repeating once again, the purpose of the get display is to get the instance of midlet, the instance of midlet you want to display on the mobile screen. So I'm trying to get, my requirement is I would like to display my midlet. What are the midlet I'm creating here? My midlet name is test, nothing but my class name here actually, right? So that's why I'm passing this. This is nothing but current reference. We know that. We started learning this pointer from core Java onwards. So this points to the current object. Current object in the sense, what are the midlet we were designing? My midlet name is test here, simply, right? So next. So I'm giving the current reference for displaying, and in the current reference, what was exactly you want to display. There is another method here, set current off. So you'll have the help here also. You can observe that set, whenever I say set, it is, look at this, set current off. So what I would like to display here, it is my form, right? Nothing but I'm trying to initiate to display my midlet. In the midlet, currently what I would like to display, it is my canvas form. So I'm passing form object as an argument here for that, right? Yes, that is the meaning of here. With that, the work was done. Just you can run your applet, midlet. Right, you can see that. So you can see the entire screen, the white screen is going to be my form, nothing but my canvas. And among that, so my string message hello is going to be displayed. So that's how we were working. Next, I would like to go with another small example, right? Just I'm removing these things. Right. I will tell you my requirement here. I'm just making it as a comments in comments. Right. I would like to display menu kind of these things: cut, copy, paste. Right. So these are like this. I would like to create a menu like this, and I would like to display this menu on my screen. Right. So first we'll focus on that, how we can do that. Right. To make this happen, that what we require is, the first thing what I require is, I need a, look at this where I'm declaring the requirements here. I need a form object. I need a canvas first. Canvas is required always, right? And I need a display object for initiating the display of my canvas, and I'm calling it as a display D. Later I will initialize all these things. And to create a a menu kind of event. So I have a class called as choice box here, and I call this as a choice box ch. So we need to add this, and later I will choice group. And later I will show you where you can find these documentation help also to work all these classes or to explore these classes, right? So my requirements are form to have a canvas, to display purpose, display object, and to create the menu, right? So I am taking a choice group object here. And now in the constructor, I would like to initialize all these things. First, I would like to initialize the form, new form of, and empty constructor is not allowed here by default. That's why I'm passing some space. Empty is not allowed, right? So I'm not giving any form name here, right? And then I would like to create a display object. Dot get display or this is the one I would like to display, and later I will set the what exactly the current thing what I would like to display. Next, choice group, new so my requirements here it is. First thing is the menu, the title I would like to give for my list items or menu items. That was the title I would like to give. Next, if how my menu item should be. Look at the options here. Generally, whenever you'll have a menu items, right, you'll have the options like you can select multiple options, or you will go with only one selection. These kind of things will be there, and this was defined by a constant in the class called as choice class. So that's why my second argument is a choice dot the constant name. So I'm taking the exclusive option. Now look at this, how it was. So first, for the while creating an object for the choice group, I need to pass two arguments. The first argument is the name I would like to give for my menu. My choice is menu here, and the second thing is which type of menu you would like to create. Whether it was possible to select multiple options at a time or multiple items at a time, or else you'd like to restrict to selecting only one at a time. So to define that, so you have some constant, exclusive or multiple, and these constants are defined in a separate class called as choice class, and those are static members also. That's why we were able to call class name followed by constant name or member name, right? And next, once it was done, I need to add, I was created a choice group. Now I need to append menu items, like whatever we discussed, cut, copy, paste. So the first option, the first menu item is cut here. So I was added that. And the second argument is if you want to provide any image related to that, that was a menu name followed by image. If you are having any image should be passed as a second argument. Otherwise, you can just pass it as a null. H.append copy. My second menu item was. So once again, I don't have any images for this. My third menu item is something paste here. Right? Yes. I was done with my all the appending things to my choice group. I have added 3 items here. Now, the next thing is I have to focus on, right? I have created a choice group. I have created a form, right? Fine. But your choice group, nothing but your menu should be added to that form. Then only when you display the form, you can see on the screen. Right now both were independently created. Now what you have to do is we have to add our menu to that form. So that's why f dot form object dot append of my choice. Right, so my choice group was appended to that. Next, I was done all these things in the constructor itself. Why? Because all these are initializations almost. Next, almost maximum work was done here. Now, in the startup method, what I'm trying to do is, right, I'm trying to display the form d dot set current or form, right? Yes, the work was done. Just we will see, we'll run and see this. Yes, you can see that. You can see that there is a title in the as a menu, and there are 3 options with the check boxes: cut, copy, paste, these things, right? So if you want to scroll down, it is not a smart mobile. It is a feature phone, right? You need to work with the buttons only, right? If I want to scroll, right, I need to use this center button. The arrows were there, up and down arrows, so we have to use them. And one more thing you need to focus is, even though, like for suppose if I want to select a particular one, right, like for suppose if I want to select a paste, right, currently it was highlighted but it is not selected actually. If I want to make a selection, so once it was highlighted, I need to click on the middle button, right? Middle button in the sense these left to right, up and down. In between these 4 you have a middle button was there, so you need to click on that middle button. Then only the paste is going to be selected. But you can't see the like a tick mark here. Can't see the tick mark here. You can't see this, but it was selected. We'll see that in the next examples, followed by examples. We'll see that, right? So whether it was selected or not and all these things, right? So look at this. My work was very simple. I have taken a simple example. I would like to create a simple menu here. To make that menu, I have taken the help of choice group, right? And in the choice group, I have created these menu with options, exclusive options. Exclusive in the sense only we can select only one out of these 3 options: cut, copy, paste. We can select only one at a time, right? And then I was added all these menu names here, right? So once it was done, that the same thing was appended to a canvas. My canvas, nothing but form was to form, it was added. And then by using the display object in the startup method, I used to display this. Now this how we can do this. Next, uh, just check this. Do you have if you have any doubts, you can raise. Just give me a minute. Any doubts here? If you have any doubts, please. Right. As you know that as you are experienced with the core Java as well as advanced Java. Also now you are working with JTME part. Every time we know that learning Java is nothing but learning the syntax is going to be 10 to 15% only. The remaining 80 to 90% is completely about its APIs. Completely, it's about APIs. If you learn more APIs, right? Yes, you can design the best applications, right? So it's about only APIs. So if you want to explore the APIs here, so how you can explore the APIs in the sense, actually this can be done using the Eclipse environment also, but while installing that, you need to add the documentation. So we have to get this documentation from the net and we need to add that one also. Otherwise, just for your sake, just I'm showing, just give me a minute. I'm showing another screen here. Look at this. Look at this screen here, especially the highlighted one. Java ME Platform SDK 3.4. Actually, through plugin, this is going to be installed into your Eclipse. Right. What I have done is for exploring the APIs, just I have installed this into my system separately, independently, without disturbing the Eclipse environment. So Java ME Platform SDK 3.4. Once it was installed into my system, you can see a folder in the C drive or wherever you installed. Just I'm opening this. So once it was done, I have a folder called as a library lib. Give me a minute. Sorry, docs. So in the Java ME Platform SDK 3.4, so you can find a docs folder. In the docs folder, you can see a folder called as API. If you open the API, you can find some zip files. For each and every major modules, you will find some zip files here. I will read out few here. The selected one is CDC 11, CLDC 1.1, right? MIDP 2.0. All these are the common, right? Whatever we look at this our screen once again. Look at the import statement here. Microedition.lcd.ui. So LCD-UI is the one of the major package generally we use, right? So if I want to explore this LCD-UI package here, right? So I extracted the CLDC zip file ni extract chesanu. CLDC 1.1 ani ikkada extract ayyindi. Just I am opening this extracted folder. There you can see so many files, right? This can be done using the browser. Just I am making use in the help of the browser here. Index and you can see that. Just if I click on the index part, so with the help of the browser, so it shows me. It was taking some time. Yeah. It's a local file. You don't need any internet here. Right, you can see this. Right, in the left menu, you can see the major packages in the CLDC folder. Right. You can see the IO related, all the IO related packages here. And just moving on to MIDP. MIDP finds the very frequently used classes and all these things. Right. For suppose if I want to find out, right, look at this. Right. You can see the left side menu, especially the selected one, choice group. The currently discussed this in our application, choice group. Right. It initially in the main screen, you can see this, the information about the choice group. So the hierarchy of this one, from where it was derived, the parent class is once again object, and from that there is a class called as item class. From item class, the choice group is actually derived, and you can see the choice group. What were the fields or the members? Members were given in capital letters, right? So what were the fields you will find here? And you can see the constructor summary, how the constructor is going to be written here, various ways. So we have adopted the first way, string argument as well as the choice type, right? In the same way, the methods, what are the methods it offers to us? So we use the first one, append, for appending these items, right? So we have all these methods, delete all, everything was there, right? So the methods which were inherited from its parent class, the methods which was inherited from its grandparent object, all these things were there, right? And I think at the end they used to end with some partial example also. Yeah, it was not given a partial examples, but anyway, so it provides the complete information about the class we were using, the packages, what we have. So not only these things, you can find yes, form. You can see about the form here, its hierarchy, right? Layout, it's a description, complete description about the form, and followed by, you can see the constructor summary, right? Constructor summary was there. There are two ways to write the constructor for this form class, and append method was there already. We were using that. Append was up to now. We were to use two types of appends. One is the item append, other one is string append. Hello world lo మనం యూస్ చేసిన string append, and we have image also, right? So like this, we have various ways. So this is a way to explore the packages, right? This helps us to while self-learning these J2ME and building our own applications, right? Right. I will conclude here today's session, right? Before concluding, the concluding remarks were, right, please install the J2ME environment, have the J2ME environment into your systems, and then please practice the hello world, followed by whatever the observation we have done, some creating a menu item, this thing. And one more thing is, if you have any doubts, please refer to those documentation. The documentation is available with the J2ME SDK software. You can find in the Eclipse folder, plugins folder, or else you can just install into your, just it is a simple small file, just installed into your system. so that you can find that the documents help. And finally, if you want to try another example, new example, in the lab cycle list, please focus on the second exercise. Second exercise is similar to whatever we discussed in today session. So please try to complete that, right? The second exercise. The third exercise is also there, similar to that, but it needs some extra features. We'll discuss it in the next class, right? So please focus on the second one also. So do you have any doubts, right? Please, you can ask me. So you can ask me if you have any doubts.